Hi, my name is Francesco Rulli. I'm the CEO of Querlo. I'm also the Chief Digital Officer of the Cathedral of Florence, the Opera del Duomo of Florence. I'm here today with Dr. Gabriel Jipa, who is actually the Emerging Markets Business Partner for Upjohn and Pfizer. Dr. Jipa, if you can expand a little bit more about your business experience and what you're doing at the present time.
Thank you very much. We, as a business technology business partner, we cover mostly the interaction between pure technology and the real applicability in business. So my experience started with companies like IBM, Watson, HP in the past. And for the past 3 years, I'm with Pfizer Upjohn. And usually the area that we cover is related to data analytics, artificial intelligence, and digital activities.
Thank you, Dr. Jipa. So I'm kind of like asking you if you can predict the future, all right? So in your perspective, what are going to be the challenges, but also the opportunities of the post-COVID era?
It's interesting that you mentioned to predict, because prediction requires, from a statistical point of view, a stable set of environmental conditions, which we don't have. And we see that, actually my point of view is that rather than trying to fit a prediction model to explain the reality, would be rather the other way around, trying to see what should be a predicted reality and what is the actual deviation, because that could be much more informative of what we need to do. Let's say that you forecast that your sales will be on an increasing trend, which will not gonna happen if you are in like hospitality or in tourism and travel industry. But you could rather use to see how big is the gap, how big is the deviation, so we can take some early measures on it. From that perspective, I think the role of machine learning or AI, it's already understood by many players in the market. What I think it's still missing is maybe the culture of adopting AI or machine learning inside companies, because even if you apply in isolation, so you have island projects that are using this type of technologies, it's very difficult to completely transform your business towards an AI empowered business and decision making.
Definitely. So talking about artificial intelligence, are there some specific use case where you see artificial intelligence can have a role in the immediate future? And what do you think is the timeline for companies today to embrace artificial intelligence as a tool to accelerate their solution solving problems?
I think artificial intelligence mostly depends on the availability of the data. And my thinking is that large enterprises, large businesses didn't use or exploited the internal data. So I think this is a gold mine. If it's leveraged and used, it could really give new insights or perspective or inform the business decision. But in order to do this as a discipline or as a practice requires that some of the foundational capabilities around the data are already in place. So some of the players will be more, let's say, more in a better position comparing to the others. On the other hand, we have the external data, which is very rich and is growing. And it could give the other perspective around the reality of the companies and the way that they operate. And we see now that in the last 5 or 6 years, starting with word vectors and the other technologies that created the capability of a machine in an unsupervised manner to extract relationship, dependencies, semantic relationships between different concepts and entities. All of this created a huge opportunity for changing the way that we either do digital marketing, either we do behavioral analytics, either we do, I don't know, banners and advertisements on internet, even the way that we do search engine optimization and so on. So I think AI offers a huge power if it's applied in the proper way, on the proper data sets. And in the same time, the speed or agility that different giants in the AI industry are releasing new models, language models, or new libraries that supports a data scientist to build a better, data product. All of this are kind of like forcing the companies at some point in time to do something. Because we all understand now that probably the way that we work will be very different. And some of the behaviors of the people will change. But still, there is an adoption curve because, as my father said, it's not enough to have money and time to go to Boston Marathon to run for it. You need also to train, and it takes time. So even if you have the money, you cannot just go next week and try to finish the marathon because you just lack the training time.
100%. Very, very wise indeed. Now, if people want to learn more about your work, what's the best way to learn more about your work?
I think the easiest way would be through LinkedIn or, I don't know, by Google search. I think it's the easiest way nowadays.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.